Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some very interesting Switch Pro leaks, once again, that are actually now coming on out. Now, we had like a pretty big, I would say, stint of a lot of Switch Pro news coming out, and like a lot of people were rumoring stuff and expecting stuff. And then first, we kind of got jebaited by the Switch OLED. And then part two, we kind of got a little bit jebaited then by this brand new Splatoon Switch. And then on the third time now, we even had even more folks coming out, and then we also got jebaited one more time by the brand new Pokemon Violet and Scarlet Switch is also coming out in a few months. But now we have once again some more information slash rumors slash leaks slash whatever you guys want to go and call it on the upcoming next Switch 2, Switch Pro, the Super Switch, whatever you guys want to go call it, in regards to its announcement date. Once again, all rumors, we're still on the speculation side when it comes to release time, expected pricing, and also internals. Now, I do want to let you guys know this is not 100% obviously confirmed, but it's always intriguing seeing a lot more leaks coming out too as well, so let's go and talk about it. As well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. The Amazon links down below, the Target links down below, and everything else down below, and let's dive into the news. So, as I mentioned, we've been kind of waiting for a new Switch for a very long time. They have been somewhat subsidizing up the market with, say, the Splatoon Switch that I think literally just came out like literally today, yesterday, the past 2 days or so, very recently. And then as well, they do have another Pokemon one coming out soon. But that doesn't really change the fact that the hardware is getting outdated, that the internals are getting outdated, that the OLED is a nice improvement in terms of battery life or screen. But nowadays, the biggest hindrance is always the graphics and graphical power and development power for the Switch. So now we actually have a rumor over here, too, from Astronix, who had a chance to hide all this stuff, stating, according to Japanese sources, the Switch 2 will have now 4 teraflops, I believe, with DLSS and RT, same power as the Xbox Series S. It'll be announced at the Tokyo Game Show and then released in March 2023 with the next Zelda game. Now, first and foremost, obviously, make sure you guys know that this is just a rumor, but let's go and talk about this a little bit more, because whenever there's rumors, there's usually a reason for the rumor. And every single day, we're getting closer and closer towards this actually coming out. So 100% leaker, so just, whatever. The new Switch will be announced in September with Drake 4T flops, 12 gigabytes of probably RAM, and then 4K DLS support with 60 FPS, and the execution performance is comparable to the Xbox Series SS. So Xbox Series S. So it's gonna break down some of the stuff. I'm gonna like kind of chime in my own thoughts slash kind of call some things out, but not fully. So this is basically them saying that this will be a brand new console that is comparable with the Xbox Series S as of now. Now, based on Nintendo, they usually do not really care that much about specs and don't really care that much because they can push their own graphical art style and optimize things, etc., etc. So I would probably say the level of an Xbox Series S isn't bad, but that definitely does go and calm down a lot just in comparison to the other consoles. Because we have to also remember that the Nintendo Switch 2, Super Switch, whatever, is more so competing with now at the Steam Deck, which you have to probably have at least comparable specs or at least somewhat around that specs to make it happen. Granted, it could be a little bit less good due to a lower price point, but I'd probably say this is what we'd be expecting roughly specification-wise for a Switch Pro. Although I will go and say in September, we're probably not going to be seeing any announcements with it. My big reason for that is that it probably wouldn't make sense competing against the Splatoon 3 Switch, as well as also the Pokemon version of the Switch. Because I think a lot of folks, if they knew that a new console was coming, they'd be a lot less likely to want to go buy a Switch, like the previous gen Switch, if they get the Switch Pro a few months later for like an extra $100, $50, or whatever it may be. So according to the leaker that actually said this, it was reported until the day of the announcement of the Splatoon 3 Pokemon version of Switch that is already in production too as well. So they just have like some different various like link sources for it. So basically the expectations are spec-wise, what is going to be in the internal is around the Xbox Series S. I think for at least the next 3 or 4 years that would maybe work, although as I mentioned that's entering into the market with a worse console in regards to the Switch, in terms of like the Xbox Series S and also the Steam Deck. So like it's just going to be a mediocre console if that's the current specs. We have seen leaks already too as well with NVIDIA, which does mean they're at least working with an internal GPU and a few other various things too as well coming out. So I don't know, it's very intriguing to see. So next thing, they also had this according to another leaker stating it will be announced on Day next Monday, so it'll be announced at the TGS as well. So basically they're saying, I think that either it was supposed to be announced this like week / next few weeks, because there was supposed to be a Nintendo Direct that was planned as of these past few days. But as you guys know, a lot of the rumors, I believe, push the fact that the Queen, unfortunate timely passing, didn't want to delay it out just out of respect of her in the country itself. But we are still hearing rumors that there will be a Nintendo Direct coming sooner rather than later. And a lot of this would be tied into potentially with announcing the next Zelda, more Zelda dates, and of course it'd be announced in the same launch with the Switch Pro, Switch 2 with the Zelda game. Which also does make sense because they released the prior one in March, I think of 2017, with Breath of the Wild, so it would actually make a lot of sense to announce the new Breath of the Wild 2 with the Switch Pro 2 at the same exact time. It just makes a lot of sense marketing-wise. A lot of folks would buy it for the brand new Zelda game, and as well, it's almost like it almost correlates well. Like you launch one game with one, people get the hype, and you launch the new game with the next one, people will also get the hype. I think a lot of folks were also assuming that the Pokemon launch was going to have something to do with the Switch Pro 2 as well, although sadly, that didn't happen. So also they are saying this new Switch does support the DLSS and RT, and is also equipped with an SoC GPU called Drake. So he only loves his bed and his mama. And a Switch, apparently. So when it comes to this one, the DLSS support is a big feature that both the PS5 and Xbox have been pushing, same with PCs as well. So I think that it is kind of pushing the next console to the next level. They also did go and announce that a Chinese leaker that guessed the announcement date of the Splatoon 3 body, you know, that means the console itself, also did go hit the mark as well. So like there is at least some sort of leaking like merit, like they've had multiple things right before. So it does add a little bit to it, which I think is also very nice to go and see. So at least there has been consistency, and there has been movement going on with it so far that does add to the support of the console. So a lot of folks are basically saying now, as we mentioned, that they are trying to push this out now for the Zelda release in March of next year, which would make a lot more sense too. And they're also trying to be more technical too as well. So they're trying to actually have like a more proper like specifications for the console itself, and trying their best to make the console, I guess, a little bit more comparable, or make it slightly more longer lasting. Because I would probably say if they had the same specs as the Xbox Series S on launch, that would probably get out of, I guess, hype quickly. Mainly because the Xbox Series S is slightly dated as of now, more so if you compare it to a lot of PC games. It is still a good console, especially for its price point, but something like Nintendo, they'd probably have set in this console for like 5, 6, 7 years. So you probably want to make sure that it would stay for a while. I don't know. That's just kind of me. That's just kind of my thoughts. I feel like they almost want to bump up the specs more. Now, the last discussion is that on the price point. Now, a lot of folks are assuming that the Switch Pro, Switch 2 price point is going to be finally bumping up to the $400 price point levels. Now, that would make sense, though, too, with the Switch OLED hitting around $350. That does make sense to me, although it may go even slightly higher. Don't forget, though, the big competitor is going to be the Steam Deck, which has actually priced up higher as well, so I would not be that surprising a $450 price point, although a lot of Nintendo consoles are more so marketed towards parents and kids, so a cheaper price point with slightly lesser specs that the parents know will be long lasting and somewhat consistent makes a lot more sense. So, with all of this, I guess the recap is that it should be around comparable levels of the Xbox Series S. Based on the leaks, these are not fully confirmed, as well as also it might be launching in tandem with the next Zelda game. These leaks are not 100% confirmed, although with another PlayStation Direct rumored coming over here too, it may go lead towards them actually having some good vibes with it, so I'm pretty excited to go and see that. What are your thoughts on this? Are you guys excited for a Switch Pro? Because at the end of the day, I would say if the Switch Pro is a better comparison to the Xbox Series S, that actually may make the market lesser for the Microsoft consoles. It might have a lot more people skewing towards the Switch. I think the PlayStation 5 is just still slightly specs above on both those two comparable consoles, which does give them still a nice free reign to do whatever. So kind of cool news. I like seeing the leaks. I like seeing the rumors. I do think there might be a little bit of inhibitions with it due to the fact that they do have two brand new consoles coming out, and they probably don't want to have in soft lock sales on them, so we'll have to see if more information comes out sooner rather than later. But give me your thoughts and comments down below, and as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 Digital Console controller, Twitter and Twitch stream down below, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching in the first place.